Hi guys! Okay, so today I thought I would show you how to apply eyeshadow properly. I already have a few makeup tutorials up, but then I thought before I would do any more, I actually wanted to do a video actually just teaching you where certain colours go in the eye and what brushes to use. Okay, so for any basic eyeshadow look, you need 3 to 4 colours from the same colour family. Okay, what am I talking about when I say colour family? What I mean by that is colours that are the same colour, just different shades. So you pick your main colour and then you need a darker shade and a lighter shade. The lighter shade will be your highlight colour, so it needs to be pretty light basically. People usually use a shimmery colour for the highlight. I'll show you some examples of what I mean by different colour families. Okay, so I'm just going to show you a few examples now of what I mean by a colour family. Okay, so these 3 colours here would all go together, because obviously they're all gold, bronze, and it goes from light to dark. So that'll be your darkest, that'll be your lightest. You probably would still use a highlight colour like this one here, but I mean, obviously it all flows together. If you're using 4 colours, you could use black for your darkest one or close to black. So like, if you're doing these colours, you could do a really, really dark navy. And you can really use whatever combination you want. So, I mean, your middle colour doesn't have to be too light. That one's quite dark. And then it gets really, really dark, the last colour. You can really do whatever combination you want. So see, these top 3 colours go together, and then these bottom ones. Today I'm just going to do browns, nice neutral colours, and I'm using the Naked palette. I'm using this one as my highlight colour. This here is going to be my main or middle colour, and this here is going to be the darkest colour. Okay, so before I start, I'm just going to run through the different parts of the eye. Okay, so this here is your brow bone, and you put your lightest shade here to highlight it and make it stand out. This is the inner corner, and you would also put your highlight colour here. This makes the eye appear brighter, more awake, and it really makes a big difference. This here is the lid, and obviously this is where the main colour will go. This right here, where that line is, this is your crease, and you would blend your darkest colour into the crease. This gives the eye more depth, and it gives the eye that smoky effect too. Also, on other makeup tutorials, you may have heard people using a transition colour in the crease. The first time I heard the term transition colour, I was like, what the hell is a transition colour? I really didn't know what the girl meant at all. I tried looking it up and I could find no explanation. In the end, I just kept watching her videos and I realised that transition colour is just a lighter colour that you blend into your crease before you blend the darker colour. This makes the darker colour much easier to blend, and as the term suggests, it just gives a nicer transition from light to dark. This area here, right there, is what people call the outer V. So if you're using 4 colours, you'd put your darkest colour here. And again, this just gives the eye more depth and a more smoky effect. And lastly, we just have the lower lash line, and there's nothing really too special about that. No offense. Okay, so before you apply any eyeshadow, you need to use an eye primer. Eye primers help to keep your eyeshadow from creasing. It makes the eyeshadow stay on all day, and it just makes the colours go on much brighter and better. I use the Too Faced Shadow Insurance eye primer, but other good ones that I've used are the MAC paint pots, the Urban Decay all their primers are really good, and the Benefit Stay Don't Stray. But obviously if you go into Boots or something, you'll find a nice cheap primer that works just fine. But I cannot stress enough, you need to use a primer, it's so important. So just blend that all over the eye, all the way up to the brow bone, and don't forget about the lower lash line as well. Next, you need to apply a base shadow, and what a base shadow is, it's just a shadow that is very close to your natural skin tone. The base shadow will help with blending the other colours. I'm just using this powder and this brush, and just putting that all over the lid and up to the brow bone. The first step is to apply your highlight on the brow bone and your inner corner, and I'm just using this flat synthetic brush and my highlight colour. Next, using this flat eyeshadow brush, I'm going to apply the middle colour all over my lid. For my middle colour, I'm using this colour here. I'm actually going to use this same colour for my transition colour. So I'm going to take this big fluffy brush and just blend that into the crease. Blending is something that you're going to get better at with practice. When you blend, you're kind of doing like small circular motions quite quickly, and also kind of like shield wiper motions, just back and forth, if that makes sense. And you kind of do it softly and not too rough on the eye. Also, you need a really good blending brush, and then the brush pretty much does it for you. This is the one I use here. I have this one as well. These are both crown brushes, but I know that Inglot does one exactly like this. But anyway, this is the blending brush for the crease. It's dome-shaped, big, and fluffy. Okay, so now I'm going to apply my darkest colour into the crease. And for this, I'm using this colour here. And I'm using this crease brush. It's similar to this one, but it's much smaller. So it fits nicely right into the crease. For beginners, or for any look you're doing really, the key is to apply a little bit of colour at a time. You don't want to just dive in there with loads of colour and hope for the best. You can always add more colour if you need to and build the intensity up rather than trying to fix it if you've gone in far too dark. So I'm just taking a little bit on my brush and I'm going to be putting it, see where that line is. You need to, when you're looking in the mirror, you need to see where your crease is. Mine is just there. And you need to put it right in there, and that's going to really give the eye some depth. I like to bring my crease colour just about to here. You can go as far as you want or as dark as you want. With the crease, what you'll end up doing is putting a bit of colour on and then going back in your big blending brush, blending it out, then putting some more on, blending it out, and then just keep going until it's as dark as you want it to be. Okay, so for the lower lash line, usually what I tend to do is mirror what I've done up here down below. So I'll do, my middle colour here and the darker colour here. I'm just going to take my middle colour and just apply that just under the eye, and the darker colour, and I'll put the darker colour on the edge here. You get some fallout on your cheek, don't worry about it. Just take a big powder brush and just kind of flick it off. You have to try and flick it rather than rub too hard, or else you just smear it all over your face. I'm just gonna go into that outer V that I mentioned earlier with the darker color. The key to doing any eye makeup look really is take it slow, do it bit by bit, and just keep blending as you go. Then make sure that there's no harsh lines there. Kind of all just blends, you know, it goes from like dark to light and the highlight, and there's no severe lines and where you could see where, you know, practically drew on the eyeshadow. Okay, so that is basically the finished eye. I think this is a really simple look to do if you're a beginner, you know, and you're only using 3 colors at the end of the day. I'm just gonna go and put my eyeliner and mascara on, and of course my lashes, and I'll be right back. So remember, I'm just showing you the basics with eyeshadow. The key to it is just to practice, 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 seriously. No joke, when I was bored on the weekends and in the evenings after school, I would just sit in front of a mirror and do my makeup. The sad thing is I would never be going anywhere, so I would just have to take it off straight after. Anyway, the point is that I practice a lot, and that's how I got good at doing my makeup. Also, the more you practice, you learn what colors go best with your eyes, what you like, what you don't like. And soon you'll just know what colors to use and what brush to use, and you just won't even have to think about it. And then once you're confident with applying eyeshadow, you can experiment with different colors, you know, matte, shimmery. The combinations are endless once you know the basics. Okay, so I really hope you learned a few things from this video. If you have any questions, you can just leave me a comment. Please subscribe to my channel if you want to see more makeup tutorials, and thank you so much for watching.